G'day folks, and welcome to another episode. It's getting to be that time of year where we're going to go out and chase a few mud crabs. But before that, we've got to go and get some bait. Well, before that, meaning yesterday, I went and caught a few potty mullet because they make great bait here. This is Lake Awonga, and it's one of my favourite places to go and rustle up a little bit of crab pot bait. My favourite bait to use, catfish, and nothing better than getting the kids into fishing than a bit of catfish fishing. They're easy to catch, they eat pretty much anything, you just got to watch out for the spines. Here's Eleanor wanted in the first one for the day. I've always wanted to give eating catfish a go. Not many people do it around here, especially out of the fresh. I thought maybe they'd be better out of the salt water, but any of the bigger ones I've caught from there always smell real bad. Probably a product of what they've been eating. The ones out of the dam here don't really have a scent at all, but they are super slimy, so if you're somebody who's delved into and taken the risk to eat some of the freshwater catfish or saltwater, if they are in fact the way to go, hit me up or leave a comment, because I'm game. Let's do it. Charlotte's on the board with her first catfish today, and Izzy's not too far behind her. Another nice, fat, healthy catfish. Now Caitlin's onto one. I think that pile of weed coming in is bigger than the fish. But it doesn't matter when you're hanging out somewhere like this. They've just improved a lot of the facilities out here at Lake Awonga. There's new barbecues, rotundas. I'm not sure what else. We haven't come out here for that sort of thing. We only come out here to chase catfish and give the kids a bit of a run around. And there just isn't anywhere nicer, is there? Look at this place. After a bit of a lull in the fish action, they do eventually come back on the bite just as it starts nearing dusk.
Swing him up.
Izzy getting 1, Charlotte 2, Ellie 2, and Caitlin even landing 2. Izzy's hanging out to get that last fish, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Sun sets and we start to pack up, but in true fashion around here, Izzy's managed to land a freshwater turtle, so we're going to get this guy unhooked and get him back in the water, because that's definitely not something you're allowed to use for crab pot bait. The kids give him a bit of a scratch and we send him on his way. So it's the next day and it's time to deal with these catfish. This is the way I do them. Dump them all in a bucket, chuck them in the freezer, and then get them out on the lawn once they're frozen solid and hit them with the old saber saw. Probably not something you want to use your good saw on. This old Ozito does just fine. Even frozen, these things are super slimy and still covered in barbs, so you want to watch out for them. But we've cut up enough, we're going to get them in some pots and get them in the water. I originally put these pots in the South Trees inlet off the bank, but it did appear that someone was checking them, probably by boat. I'm lucky enough to have access to this pontoon, which isn't usually particularly good for catching crabs, but we thought we'd give it a go. We got one nice cod, possibly legal. This beautiful little decorator crab covered in barnacles. We obviously let him go, not much of a feed on him. We got a couple of starfish, which I was certainly not expecting. And then these guys. What? Now I've got no experience catching these things. I don't even know if there's a way to target them. And from the limited knowledge I have, I'm pretty sure they're mantis shrimp. A quick Google confirms it, and apparently they're pretty good eating. We ended up with 3 in total in the pots that day. They're not mud crabs, but from all accounts, they go pretty good. These things subsist on eating prawns, and prawns taste pretty good, so it leads me to think these things will probably taste pretty good too. They've got a vein in them like a prawn, which you can opt to take out. I did, but I kind of regret it. I think you'd be better off taking them out after they're cooked. I'm following one of the most basic recipes I could find, which is just cooking them in salted olive oil and giving them a quick fry either side. The recipe I was following said about a minute, minute and a half each side, and that's it. Look at the colours coming through on these guys. That deep red coming through, just like when you cook a prawn or a crab. These things smell incredible. There's nothing I love more than getting out and turning nothing into something. We went out a few days ago with a cast net, caught some bait, turned that into catfish, turned that into crab pot bait, which eventually turned into these amazing looking mantis shrimp. Have a go at them. I'd love to actually get out there and target these things if that's possible. So if you're a mantis shrimp expert, or an expert on catching anything else, land or sea, and you wouldn't mind me tagging along, filming it, and having a mad feed with you, leave a comment down below or hit me up on Facebook, Instagram or TikTok, and maybe I'll see you out there somewhere. P.S. guys, these things are better than any prawn or mud crab I've eaten. Highly recommend. Probably 8.5, 9, maybe even 10 out of 10. These things are unreal.